This is not the episode I wanted to be making. If you follow us on social media and you know that my friend from high school, Steve Cozzi, went missing in Largo, Florida on March 21st. Ethan and I recorded a quick, off-the-cuff episode just trying to get his information out there in order to hopefully help drum up witnesses and ultimately help with the investigation. Just 5 minutes after we recorded that, I got a text from our other friend from high school, Masa Saidi, who is an investigative reporter for WFLA in Tampa. She texted me the statement from the Largo Police Department that they made on Sunday, March 26th, 2023 at 11:54 a.m. And I'm going to read it here. Update: arrest made in missing persons case. The Largo Police Department has arrested 44-year-old Tomasz Roman Kosowski and charged him with first-degree murder in regard to missing person Steven Cozzi. On March 21st, 2023, the Largo Police Department responded to a call for service in reference to a missing person. Officers learned that Steven Cozzi had left his office, 1501 S Belcher Road, leaving behind his wallet, car keys, and cell phone. However, he was never seen exiting the building and left behind his vehicle. During the investigation, there was a strong chemical odor in the men's bathroom of the office and small drops of blood. A subsequent forensics investigation revealed a significant amount of blood in the same bathroom. Largo police detectives began looking for a suspicious person and vehicle that were seen at the office building the same time as the victim. This led the investigation to obtaining a search warrant on the Kosowski's residence in Tarpon Springs. Evidence obtained from the search warrant led to the vehicle stop of Kosowski on Saturday, March 25th, 2023 in Tarpon Springs. Tomasz Roman Kosowski was placed in custody and transported to Pinellas County Jail and charged with first-degree murder. The body of Steven Cozzi has not been located at this time. The Largo Police Department would like to thank the Tarpon Springs Police Department, Pinellas County Sheriff's Office, and the Pinellas-Pasco County State's Attorney's Office for their assistance in this ongoing investigation. As stated, the investigation is still active and ongoing. We anticipate providing additional information when the integrity of the investigation allows us to do so. At this time, we are asking that anyone that feels they have information pertinent to this investigation to call Detective Bolton at the Largo Police Department at 727-587-6730. This is obviously not the ending that we wanted on this, and it's not the end because Steven has still not been found. So we still need people who were in the area of 1501 South Belcher on Tuesday, March 21st to come forward with anything that they may have seen. I'm going to go ahead and play what we had recorded. Obviously we talk about the CCTV and we do talk about this plastic surgeon who was arrested, Dr. Kosowski, and, my hope that this arrest was not related. Although, of course, now we know that it is. Steve was a funny guy. We were in a lot of plays together in high school, and he actually worked as a stagehand on Broadway before moving to Florida and becoming a lawyer. He had a good soul, and he's going to be greatly missed by everyone who knew him. I'm glad that there's been an arrest so quickly in this case, and I'm just devastated that this is how it turned out. Thank you to everyone who has been following and who has helped share this. And again, please keep sharing his story so that we can get more information to aid in the prosecution and to find Steve. This is going to be an unusual episode. Steve Cozzi is an attorney in Largo, Florida, in the Tampa area, and he has been missing since Tuesday, March 21st, 2023. Steve Cozzi is a friend of mine from high school, And he has gone missing under very mysterious circumstances. On March 21st, he allegedly went to the restroom, left behind his keys, his phone, his wallet at his desk, and never returned. So this week, we are going to bring you basically what we know about Steve and his disappearance, just in hopes of getting more publicity for his case up there. We are just hoping that he comes home safely, but we have to use this platform, I think, to help out in a situation like this. So I don't have a script. I haven't done anything. This is not going to be normal. But today we are covering the very breaking story of Steve Cozzi. I'm Kona Gallagher.
And I'm Ethan Flick.
And this is And Then They Were Gone. So yeah, this is, again, not a normal episode. It's not going to be very polished or clean, but if you follow us on social media, you've seen that I've been making videos about this ever since I found out, yesterday, really. I found out Friday night. So I took our kids to the movies and I got home around 9:30 and I had like all these texts and tags on Facebook and I didn't know, obviously what the hell was happening. And I looked and I saw one of the texts was like missing attorney from Largo, like, attorney goes missing under mysterious circumstances. And I was like, okay, I mean, because people send me cases all the time to look into. So, and like I was tired because we went and saw friggin' John Wick and that thing was like 3 hours long. And so I was like getting ready to go to bed. And so I clicked on it and I saw Steve's picture. And like, what was wild to me is that like Steve isn't a criminal attorney. So, my first thought, if an attorney goes missing under suspicious circumstances, is
it's a client or or somebody on the opposite side.
Yeah. Right, exactly. And so it was just super. I'm like, I see. I thought he was still doing family law, which he did used to work for a family law attorney, right?
Okay.
And because our friends, Emily Meredith, they called me that night because they were freaking out and they're like, this is really scary. And I was like, yes. And so they said, yeah, I think he's working family law. So he was, but now he works for Blanchard and Associates, I think is the name of the law firm, but Jake Blanchard owns it. And they're like bankruptcy attorneys, which other than tax law, I don't think it gets much more boring than that, right?
For sure, yeah.
I mean, you would think that like there's no way any of that could be related.
Right. Or that there would be, that level of animosity towards your bankruptcy attorneys.
Yeah. So I didn't. So as soon as, I found that out, I was like, okay, well, something else must be going on, right? Because, the post on Facebook that I found out about it, like that was my first question. Like, what case was he working on, right? But who knows? So what we find out, and this is why I decided that I immediately wanted to get involved, because Steve went missing on Tuesday afternoon, March 21st. He was working in his office, and this is what we know based on the 4-line statement that the Pasco Police Department has released in relation to this case. He was working in his office. He went to the bathroom. He did not come back. Now, he left his keys, his wallet, his cell phone, everything at his desk. And, I think a lot of dudes might take their phone to the bathroom, but, if it was supposed to be a quick trip,
right.
He left it behind.
So with that, it's automatically thinking, Robert Hoagie Hoagland leaving his stuff behind and disappearing. However, I know there's more to it.
Right. However, it was reported that there was blood found in the bathroom. And I don't have more details on that. So I don't know if it was a lot of blood, if it was a little bit of blood, where in the bathroom the blood was located, what time the blood was found.
Right. And wasn't there a mention of the smell of bleach also?
Right. There's a smell of bleach too. So that,
it's a bathroom
in an office building.
Right. Maybe there's cleaning products
around.
So
like that, the bleach thing, I don't know that means anything, honestly.
Right.
Or it could mean that, whoever, if something did happen, the person did try to clean up and just left a small amount of blood behind that they just missed. I don't know. But from what it seems like, this is in the middle of the day on a Tuesday. This isn't like he was there on the weekend working extra hours. And so nobody was in the building,
office.
Right?
Yeah.
His boss, Jake Blanchard, who says that he's been best friends with Cozzi for 5 years, is the one who reported all of this. And so he was there at the time, from what I understand. Now, I can't, and from what I also understand, this bathroom, it's like the communal office building bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
So, whoever did, if something happened in that bathroom, the person wouldn't have had a ton of time to do a whole cleanup, I would think, in the middle of the afternoon on a Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
So getting back, though, to why I immediately became disturbed, other than the fact that my friend from high school went missing under these very upsetting circumstances, is this happened on Tuesday afternoon. And it only made the news on Friday afternoon. And the reason it made the news on Friday afternoon is because one of the reporters from WFLA, she's like a consumer protection reporter. So it's if you're getting screwed over by a business, you call her and she'll come help you out, that type of thing.
Right.
So she was working on a case like that was also being handled by Steve's law firm. So she was there reporting on that. And then I guess found out from Jake or from somebody else who works there that Steve went missing on Tuesday. And so she reports on that, and, we'll link to the original news report that she did, where she talks about how she just kind of stumbled across this. But by this time, it's been 3 days. And then so she reports on this, and then that's when the Pasco police, the Largo police released their statement saying that he went missing under suspicious circumstances, but they don't, say anything else.
Right. So, obviously it begs the question, why didn't they have some sort of press release immediately or before that?
Right. And you get it from the standpoint of a missing adult, right?
Sure.
Because he could have just left, he could have done whatever. And in any police agency, they're not going to put out a press release for every single missing adult who leaves work in the middle of the day, right? However,
except that there was blood found in the bathroom.
There was blood found in the bathroom.
Right. So it's missing under suspicious circumstances. And, at that point, it would make more sense to get it out as quickly as possible because people might have seen something.
Right.
As a police, you in this circumstance, you're already behind the 8 ball because you have no idea what happened. You don't know if he walked off on his own accord or if somebody took him.
Yeah.
So it would make more sense to just get it out there so that you can find as much information out as possible.
So I don't know what to think at this point. I people I've been making TikToks about this. I made like 7 between today and yesterday because this is all I've been able to focus on. I mean, you can attest that I've been a complete fucking disaster since yesterday morning. It's Sunday morning at 11:30 when we're recording this, by the way. When I found out on Friday, and again, not to make this about me, but I have a point to saying this. When I found out about this on Friday night, it was shocking, and I was just confused. Like, I didn't know how to feel, right? Like, what do I do? Like, I have to help in some way. And so like I went over and, I posted on Twitter. I started reaching out to people in the missing person space just to like let them know, just trying to use whatever like connections I have. I went to Web Sleuths. Somebody had already started a thread on Web
really?
Sleuth. Yeah. So I posted on that, and it's like, if you look at that post, you can tell I'm like, so just like, I don't know what the fuck is happening. Like, yeah. And so I didn't know what to do. So I woke up Saturday morning. I had like this work retreat that I was supposed to be at all day that I was sponsoring. It was like a whole thing. I was supposed to leave the house at like 9 a.m. And instead, I got on the phone with Masa Saidi, who also graduated high school with us. And she just happens to be an investigative reporter for WFLA in Tampa, which is the station that broke this story. So she wasn't the reporter who was, doing the original story, but she's on it now. I can't, you know me. Listen, I'm not the everything happens for a reason person.
Yeah, definitely not.
I believe in coincidences for sure. But given the fact that you have 3 people who graduated from Loudoun County High School together, one of them has been an investigative reporter for the past like 10 years who ends up in Tampa. She's not from there.
Right.
One of them was a stagehand on Broadway after college, ended up becoming a lawyer in Tampa. And one of them's just some dummy who started a fucking podcast about missing people 3 years ago. But we all converged on this. And like, Masa is an investigative reporter and she's on the ground there. I have this platform, and Steve went missing.
Right.
Like, I have to, like, there's just something that makes me feel that maybe it did happen, that like I'm supposed to be doing something to help,
Mm-hmm.
So that's why this has been, I don't know, just it's why we're here recording this right now with no script, and why we don't have our normal episode this week, because I didn't finish editing it because I just have only been able to think about this. All right, so let's talk a little bit about what we know, which is not much.
Yeah, so far as I know, that statement from the police is the only thing that we know.
Basically, yeah. So I talked to Masa yesterday morning, just to be like, what is going on? This is your station. Are you actually on this? Like, what do you know? Is there information that isn't out there? Whatever. We talked a lot. There's things that she's working on that I am not allowed to share.
Right.
Because the last thing that I want to do is hurt any part of this investigation. She's obviously bound by a lot more rules than I am, but I still, I don't have a job that would be in jeopardy if I say too much. But again, I want to be very cognizant of not spreading rumors and, just not, like I said, doing anything to harm this investigation. So I spoke with her, and after speaking with her, that's when it like really became real. And that's when I just, started crying, and I've been basically crying on and off ever since. I also spoke with Steve's mother and just, offered my support and help. She says that the police have been very diligent in this, in her opinion. And she is also worried about doing anything to compromise the investigation. She released a brief statement this morning that she said when we were speaking yesterday, she said she was getting approved. Now, this is from Steve's mother, Lois Cozzi. Quote, "As a family, we are frantic with worry and numb with fear over Steven's disappearance. We would like to thank the Largo Police and the Pinellas Sheriff's Office for working diligently to try and ascertain what has happened. The outpouring of love and support from people who know and care for Steven has brought some comfort. Right now, we need information and facts. Steven has been missing since Tuesday, March 21st morning. Steven was last seen at his office at 1501 South Belcher Road in Largo. Anyone who may have seen or heard something is asked to call the Largo Police at 727-587-6730. So again, very basic, but this is what strikes me now that I'm reading this again. She got this approved by Largo Police,
right?
Based on what she told me yesterday. And in it, she's asking for information.
Mm-hmm.
So if this is a situation which Largo Police and Pinellas County Sheriffs, who are also now involved, are trying to ascertain more information, I feel like meaning they're trying to get information because they don't know what happened to him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it is a possibility that police have a good idea of what happened to Steve.
Right. But they're not going to release it.
Exactly.
Publicly.
Right.
Yeah.
And so that could be a very good reason why they're not releasing information. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And a very reasonable, correct reason why they're not releasing information. My concern about that is the statement which Lois got approved by police asking for the public to give information. So if that means that Largo Police, that Pinellas County, they don't know what happened to Steve, then it would seem to me that it would be helpful for Largo then to be releasing more information to the public in order to aid in them offering assistance.
Like specifics of
time. Because I was under the impression it was in the afternoon.
She said
she says in the morning.
Right.
So when exactly was he last seen? Like a timeline is so key if you're actually hoping to get witnesses.
Yeah.
You need to give them exact times. We need to know exactly when, as close as possible, like when he was last seen. We need to know when Jake Blanchard, who I believe is the one who called it in, when he called it in.
Mm-hmm.
We need to narrow down that timeline. And so when I've been doing the videos on TikTok, people have been asking a lot of questions, which I've been trying to answer. One of which is there CCTV in the buildings?
Mm-hmm.
The answer, from what I understand, is yes. From what I understand, the police do have that footage. Could there be some of it that they would want to hold back? Of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
However, there could be benefit in releasing some of it,
mm-hmm.
and particularly video that may show other people.
Right.
So we saw this, England is really big on CCTV.
Yeah.
And in cases like this, English police seem to be very big on releasing the CCTV to get help from the public. And we covered the Leah Croucher case, and there was a lot of CCTV released of that. And it was not only of Leah, her last movements before her disappearance, but it was other people in the area at the time because they are trying to get information from people who were around and said,
Right.
hey, do you see yourself on this video? Because if you do, we would like to know if you saw anything, right? Because these people who are just going about their day, these people who are just going about their day may not know that they saw anything.
Exactly.
They're just like going to lunch. They're just, going to work. They're doing whatever. They may not know that they saw anything important. But if the CCTV is released and the police say, hey, if you were at this place at this exact time,
contact us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's the type of information that could make a huge difference in this case at this point when we're still talking, recently before people start forgetting things.
Yes, exactly.
I'm like, this is so maddening to me. So there's that. People have also been asking, of course, with the location of Steve's disappearance being generally in the state of Florida and two in the Clearwater, Florida area. The questions that I've gotten are, could this be related to DeSantis and his anti-LGBTQ agenda? Like basically, could Steve have been representing somebody who, was related to that in some way? And again, he's a bankruptcy attorney. Like, no, don't think it has anything to do with that. Another question is, so Clearwater, Florida is the headquarters of Scientology. People kept on asking about that. Again, there's no reason to think that this has anything to do with that either. So again, I just want to get that out there because
conspiracy theories.
Yeah. Like there's nothing.
Do away with that.
Yeah. We don't want to deal with any of that. There's nothing that indicates anything of that nature. So I just do want to say that real quick because it has come up several times. And I definitely don't want people to start going off on that. We don't, like you said, we don't really have any other information. The only thing that has come up this morning is an arrest has been made nearby that I am hoping is completely unrelated. This morning, around 4:15 a.m., March 26th, 2023, officers from the Largo Police Department arrested Dr. Tomasz Kosowski on a charge of first-degree murder. And I'm reading directly from the article here. He was booked into the Pinellas County Jail, and multiple law enforcement officers and investigators were seen at his Tarpon Springs home on Seaview Drive for several hours overnight this past Thursday. The article doesn't say who he was arrested for killing.
Right.
He has been booked. He's currently in jail. Now, the reason why this is even getting brought up, because this article was sent to me many times this morning and has been brought to my attention. The reason why people are bringing it up in relation to Steve's case is because Dr. Kosowski is involved in a lawsuit where he is suing a former plastic surgery office where he worked. And several of the defendants are being represented by Steve's office. And the reason why Steve's, I keep on saying he's a bankruptcy attorney. The law firm itself does deal a lot with bankruptcies, but it's other financial type things as well.
Right.
So I don't know the exact nature of this lawsuit, but that's what it is. Court records have Jake Blanchard's name as the attorney. But I don't know if that's because Jake
it's
is
his law firm.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if it's just because it's his law firm or because he is actually the attorney who's representing the defendants. I don't know if Steve is directly involved in this case or not. We just know that his firm is directly involved in this case. Now, just to talk about the timeline a little bit, Steve was last seen on Tuesday. Largo police were searching the doctor's home on Thursday night, and they arrested him Sunday morning. The announcement about Steve being missing under mysterious circumstances came out on Friday afternoon. So after
they searched his house,
but before they made the arrest. So I don't.
It might not be linked.
Exactly. And so my hope, and the reason why I'm holding out hope that it might not be linked, is that I'm wondering if on Thursday, if Pasco County, I keep on saying Pasco County, it's Largo Police. If Largo Police suspected that Dr. Kosowski was involved in this, I'm wondering if the statement that they put out on Friday would have been worded a little bit differently. I mean, not saying anything about Dr. Kosowski, of course. I don't know if like just saying that he's missing under mysterious circumstances would have been the statement, or if they, I don't know.
It's without any inside knowledge. It's hard to venture a guess as to why they would wait, why they would release the statement when they did. Maybe they searched the doctor's house and didn't actually find anything relating to Steve, and that's why they put the announcement out then.
Yeah.
So who knows?
Yeah, exactly. Because, I mean, if they searched on Thursday, they didn't arrest till Sunday. Like, what happened between Thursday and Sunday?
Right.
I don't know. I mean, I'm also hoping that they would have given the family a heads up about this if they did think it was related. And based on my conversation with Lois and based on social media posts that Michael, Steve's husband, has made, it doesn't sound like they have.
Yeah.
So I'm just hoping that that's because there isn't a connection, not because police aren't keeping the family in the loop in that way.
Yeah.
I don't know, though, obviously. Masa is on this story. She's unfortunately she was boarding a plane yesterday, like to go on vacation when we were finding out all about this. But she's still definitely working on it. And her whole newsroom is on this right now. So WFLA in Tampa is definitely who we want to keep an eye on in terms of any actual updates on this story. I just feel helpless, and I want to help, and I'm just so, I want to make sure that Largo Police, that the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office, that everybody involved in this case knows that there are so many people who care about Steve, who are not going to let this go, who are not going to just, write this story off. And my only hope in putting this out there today is just, again, getting his name out there, getting his story out there, and hoping that we are doing this quickly enough that we can shake loose kind of more witnesses, more information, somebody who might have seen something, somebody who may know something. So to that end, and again, I'm going to put written information. I'm going to put whatever links I have. I'm going to put, pictures of Steve. Maybe even I found like a really pretty great high school picture of him yesterday. That I think I'm definitely going to. It's physically in a photo album, so I think I'm going to scan it in and put it on just because, like, I think he would appreciate having It's not an embarrassing high school photo, but it's like still a high school photo. I think I might put it up. Because like I do think you would kind of find that funny. But I'm going to put up whatever I have. I'm going to just so you all can take a look and just so you can get the information and again get this out to people in the Largo, Florida area. Once again, I do want to go back and give you the address of where he was last seen. And that was the Blanchard Law Office, which is located at 1501 South Belcher Road in Largo. So if you were anywhere in that vicinity on Tuesday, March 21st, 2023, please think back, think to if you saw something, like I said, I will put Steve's photo out there. Just if you know anything, even if it just seems stupid and completely unrelated, please err on the side of giving unrelated information. Please call the Largo Police at 727-587-6730. Let me do that one more time. 727-587-6730. We very, very much want to get Steven back. We want to find him. We want to get this wrapped up as soon as possible. So the more people who can give information, who may have information, hopefully the faster we'll do that. I'm still going to be posting as soon as, I get more information on social media. So follow us there. I'm not going to do like our whole outro thing again, like whatever, we're a podcast. You're listening to us now. I don't know, whatever, you get it. But we are ATTWG Pod on like every social media platform. You can search us on Facebook and then they were gone. Our website is andthentheyweregone.com. So just TikTok is where I'm mainly posting the most information. So get on there and then also Twitter. But please, if you come across it, share it, boost it, tag larger creators if you can. Anybody who you think would be able to help would be great. So we will be back with our normal episode next week. We, like I said, we did it. It was in the can. I was going to be releasing it. Then all this happened and it's on the back burner for right now. And hopefully I will also be able to come back with good news about Steve soon. But either way, we're going to keep you updated. Thank you for listening to this very kind of off the cuff episode. And we'll talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon.